Today we are doing a boho braid inspired look on her natural hair. There are a lot of names for this hairstyle. However, we're going to go with boho braids just because it's the most popular right now. Some of the products that you're going to need. I'll show you the rest later on. If this is not your first time on our channel, then you know we start with the Cochlear Implant processor resting on the head so that we can make our baseline part. The baseline part is basically a part that we do from one side of the head all the way to the other side where the opposite Cochlear Implant processor sits. You'll see me taking the processor on and off quite a few times just to ensure that it connects properly so that we don't have to backtrack at all throughout this process, or especially not when we're finished. So I'm just picking it up, putting it down, and then you're going to see me do the same thing on the other side, just connecting the part from this end to the other side that we just completed, and that's going to give us our baseline for this style. I really can't stress it enough how much you want to make sure, even if you have to triple check, that the processor is sitting on correctly and is able to connect properly. Once you have that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and put the hair into 4 sections. I'm using Not On My Watch by Aunt Jackie's to just detangle these sections and make sure that we don't have any tangling, because we are working, or I'm working on damp hair. I freshly washed her hair, and I'm going to style it while it's damp because we're going to end up wetting it and defining her curls in the end. Here I am again putting on her Cochlear implant, but this time it's because she wants to hear the video that she's watching. All right, so we're going to start by parting the back, working in one of the 4 sections. You just want to make a part, connecting it to the center part that you made down the middle of the head, if that makes sense. We're going to take this braid gel and we're only going to use just a little bit at the base of the section that you're working in. I'm doing my parts, I want to say, so the nape of her head or neck is finer, so I'm able to do bigger parts back here because the hair is finer and not as dense as the top. So it'll be about 3 parts across the back when I'm finished. But once you make your section based on the density of the person's hair that you are working with, you want to braid inward instead of out and under. And the reason why I braid inward, almost like you would do a French braid, is because it allows the braids at the base to lay flat. And that's the most important thing when you're working with cochlear implants. You want that style to be flat so that the magnets can connect. And I just carry this out throughout her whole head. It doesn't really matter back here, but I prefer the flat look. As I'm making my way down to the bottom of this braid, you're going to see me pull out just little pieces of hair. These are going to be the curly pieces at the end of the style. I'm leaving out about 4 to 5 little pieces of hair as I'm braiding down, and I'm also leaving the very end of the braid down because we're going to use that part to curl the end as well. I typically wouldn't define the curls until the end of the style, but just so that you have a reference and you can get an idea of what it looks like, I'm gonna define it here as I go. I'm gonna do another section so that you can see again how I braid down the size of the little pieces that I'm leaving out, and then how I define the curls. I just wanted to add that for the curls, or to define the curls, I am using Pattern Beauty Curling Custard. This style will vary based on the density of your hair as well as the length of your hair. Before you try the style, I would recommend considering your curl pattern if you like it. If you tend to like how your wash and goes look, then you may be interested in this hairstyle, and it might be fitting for you. So yeah, this is pretty much how the braids will look once you complete them, and obviously as you move on and go forward, it will get fuller and thicker depending on the density of your hair again. So now I've made my way up to the section where the cochlear implant processor will sit. So what you see me doing now is sitting the processor on and then pulling the hair downward, because I'm going to try to braid it at the very bottom of the section, almost like it should almost look like a tail. So you don't want to start the braid in the center of that section. You want to pull the hair down towards the bottom so that the processor has a flat canvas to sit on. Okay, so after completing the first section out of our 4 sections, I went ahead and completed the second section, pretty much making the parts on that side parallel to the ones on the first side. And then also I wanted to add that I'm using a brick laying pattern for the braids. This just gives them a more cohesive look, and they just lay better and flow better when you do this. You don't have to, but it is an extra step that does make a difference. Now what you see me doing is going ahead and defining all of the curls on the braids that we did in the back section. I'm doing this so that you guys can get an idea of what it should look like or what it can look like if you try this out. Now that those braids are completed, I can officially sit the cochlear implant processor on again, just to make sure that they are able to connect, because with these Canso 2s we have a halo clip and they have these little hair clips on each side, and I want to make sure that I'm able to connect it to the braids without an issue. Nothing's too thick or too thin. And in an effort to not bore you, I went ahead and completed the entire head. And this is what yours should turn out looking like if you followed all of my steps. Obviously not exactly like this, because your curl pattern might not be exactly the same, but this is the gist of what it should look like. You can go ahead and leave it free and flowing like this, but here are a few ways we plan to style it. My girl's a little extra, so she asked for this hair paint wax, I think is what it's called, to be added for a little razzle dazzle. So I'm just doing a few highlights around her head. This is how that turned out, and the style is officially completed. Bye.